Good afternoon. The Alliance of the Progressive Front and National Forces held a political meeting under the title Political Dialogue and National Reconciliation to Regain Security and Stability. The meeting lasts for 2 days. It will deal with the subjects of dialogue, the role of the army, combating terrorism, rejection of foreign intervention, national reconciliation, and preservation of the state and its institutions. The speakers assert the importance of activating steadfastness against all blots. They will also discuss the social and economic aspects in order to consolidate Syria's stability. In Aleppo, a unit of our valiant armed forces killed dozens of terrorists and destroyed 5 vehicles carrying machine guns and a mortar. A unit of our forces captured the terrorist Hamid Marwan Qassab, leader of the terrorist group in a Sukkari quarter in Aleppo city. In the area of Al-Furqan, terrorists fired 2 mortar missiles on civilian citizens, killing 2 of them and wounding 3 others. The competent authorities seized a large amount of ammunition in Khan al-Sheikh, Al-Abbasiyya and Zakia in Damascus countryside, killing a number of terrorists. Sources in the governorate said that the arms seized included automatic rifles, machine guns, RPGs, anti-armor missiles and a variety of ammunition, as well as hand grenades, remote controls for IEDs, and a number of documents belonging to the group members. Also in Damascus countryside, a unit of our armed forces eliminated a group of terrorists in Al-Zabadin town to the eastern Ghouta. Moving to Al-Barudiyya quarter in Hama city, the security forces captured a hideout for terrorists containing explosive devices with a tunnel inside it used to smuggle weapons, ammunition and terrorists. Units of our armed forces also purged Al-Sabuniyya quarter from the mercenary terrorists, inflicting heavy casualties among them. In the village of Al-Ahwez in the Hama countryside, a unit of our armed forces destroyed another hideout for the terrorists, who spread panic among citizens in the area. The security forces captured large amounts of weapons and explosive devices, acting on information given by honest citizens. The security forces discovered networks of underground tunnels used by terrorists as lines of support for their criminal attacks. And in Al-Mleha and Shab'a farms in Damascus countryside, security forces captured a stolen vehicle and a lorry carrying stolen medical equipment, a large amount of weapons, and stolen and forged identity cards. A large number of terrorists were also killed and wounded during the chase. The security forces liberated a citizen who was kidnapped by armed terrorist groups earlier. Moreover, in Al-Raqqa countryside, our valiant armed forces continued to purge a number of areas. They destroyed 2 cars and killed the terrorists in them in Tel Abyad. In Al-Hasakeh countryside, the competent authorities attacked one of the armed terrorist group's hideouts in Abu Bakr village, arresting some of them and seized their weapons. The news reporter said that a source in the governorate mentioned that the seized weapons included 3 bomb-action rifles, 3 guns and various ammunition. And in Deir ez-Zor, our armed forces killed 4 snipers of foreign nationalities in the quarter of government employees. The terrorists burned the bodies of the snipers in order not to be recognized. In Homs, the quarter of Wadi Sayah, Al-Warsha and Al-Khalidiyya were attacked by terrorist groups, which created panic and displaced many people. The camera visited these quarters and listened to testimonies of the citizens against terrorist crimes.
Thanks God you came. Just watch our torture. Those monsters, they are killing people inside their homes.
We are in Wadi Sayah neighborhood for the first time, which is one of the most beautiful ancient neighborhoods in Homs. Terrorists were here as they destroyed everything beautiful. Buildings are empty now. Those have no mercy for anything. Even the hospital and this old man. His loneliness was aching him. So he did not find but tears to express his tragedy.
I cannot go outside because of the snipers. Terrorists came and destroyed my home before the coming of the Syrian army. I am 88 years old. Kill me, I'm not afraid of death. Just shoot, I won't leave my home.
We were living in peace. Terrorists attacked our homes, smashed and destroyed everything, and threatened us all.
They damaged my house. Look what they have done. Just take a look. They opened our hole from a neighbor's house to our own in order to steal our home's contents and to destroy it.
In Al-Warsha neighborhood, gunshots were heard everywhere. Houses were blown up by the terrorists. These empty houses missed their people, whereas snipers were up on their roofs, shooting on passers-by.
A delegation of the people of Sheikh Maskin in the governorate of Daraa pledged to put an end to the crimes of terrorist groups in their town. They also began to contact the relatives of armed terrorists in order to surrender them to the security forces to settle their cases. During their meeting with the secretary of the Ba'ath Party branch in the governorate and the governor of Daraa, the delegation of 15 notables called for giving priority to the activation of the process of national dialogue in order to restore security and safety to their town. With the participation of delegations from the occupied Syrian Golan, the Galilee area, and the occupied Palestinian territories in 1948, the National Movement in Palestine organizes an honoring festival for the two freed prisoners Sidq al-Maqt and Urud al-Qasim. The freed prisoner Sidq al-Maqt gave his greetings to the Syrian Arab Army, asserting that this motherland Syria is targeted due to its stances of the national issues, on top of which is the Palestinian issue.
The national movement in Palestine has organized a celebration to honor the two liberated Palestinian prisoners, Sidqi Sulaiman al-Maqt and Urud Qasim, daughter of the Palestinian Triangle in the city of Al-Nasira in Galilee.
To be honored makes me proud. It's a medal on my chest by the Prisoners' League and by the people who crowded to celebrate liberating us from the Israeli prisons. This boosts our morale and supports us to defy who imprisoned us.
Celebrating the liberation of any prisoner is encouraging our people to continue the struggle. On the other hand, to honor a son from Syria or a daughter from Palestine embodies the unity of the struggle and the cause between the Palestinian and the Syrian people.
Delegations from the occupied Syrian Golan and from the Palestinian Triangle and Galilee, along with the families of the prisoners and the liberated ones, participated in the celebration. Speeches focused on the suffering of the prisoners inside the Israeli cells. Some prisoners stayed for more than quarter a century in prisons, while the liberated prisoner Al-Maqt said that Syria is targeted today because of its stances towards the national causes, especially the Palestinian one. From the land of Jesus Christ, Al-Maqt paid respect to the Syrian Arab Army on the occasion of October War of Liberation.
This means a lot to me. It means the Syrian-Palestinian unity in the face of the Zionist scheme. We are all in one front in the face of the Zionist scheme in Palestine and in the face of the terrorist groups in Syria. It's not by chance that this evening of honor is held on the 6th of October, as both events tell the story of a national struggle in the face of a Zionist project. And as there was a victory on 6th of October, there will be a coming victory against the Zionist project.
We came here and we emphasized our Arab stance towards the Arab issues, on top of which is the detainees issues and the conspiracies that are being hashed against the Arab nation, especially what is ongoing in Syria.
I'm the mother of Ibrahim Mohammed Bakri and Yassin Saleh Bakri, who were sentenced for 9 life sentences and 30 years. Our prisoners must be liberated.
Emphasizing the unity of the Syrian and Palestinian people, the martyrs' families presented plaques of honor for the liberated prisoners and showed a documentary film about the struggle of the prisoners in the Israeli prisons.
The Turkish government remained involved in carrying out Western agendas in the region and establishing unholy alliances on sectarian and ethnic grounds. There were popular demonstrations of protest in various Turkish cities against the policies of Erdogan's government. More about that in the following.
The Turkish government dreams of its Ottoman history, which was full of darkness and repression. It continues to embrace terrorism and to move along the abyss. The Turkish people are paying from their blood and economy the price of the foolish practices of their government. Erdogan is trying to involve the Turkish army in the silly comedy of the missile fired by his agents to kill 5 Turks. Then came the screams of Erdogan threatening to intervene under the instigation of NATO. The Brussels meeting of NATO dealt with Erdogan's dreams of setting fire along the borders with Syria in order to reduce the pressure on the armed terrorists in Aleppo. The Turkish paper Yoğurt asserted that Turkey sent the mortar missiles to the terrorists in Syria. Those missiles came from NATO warehouses. They are not of the type used by the Syrians. The paper warned that Erdogan's government was trying to drag Turkey into a regional war. The other paper, Cumhuriyet, asserted that obeying the instigations of others could only bring more harm. Erdogan seems to be employed to carry out America's policies in this region. The burdens of these policies are causing grave concern among the Turkish people. These policies will have violent consequences, damaging Turkey's security, economy and unity.
Venezuelan electoral authorities announced the re-election of Hugo Chavez as president after his victory in the presidential elections yesterday. Chavez gained 54% of the vote against 44.97% of the vote for the opposition candidate Enrique Capriles Radonsky, after sorting 90% of the votes. Immediately after the results were announced, Chavez supporters were gathered in some districts of Caracas and fired fireworks expressing their joy. The re-election of Chavez is caused by the social policies that he has set for the last 4 years, which based on strengthening the role of the state and its social responsibilities, especially in health, education and residential issues, and fighting the huge monopolies, in addition of his political stances that rejects American domination. And with this we come to the end of our news for today. Stay with us. After the break, Vani has the latest in economy. And for now, for more information about Syria and the region, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Thank you for watching.